Hello everyone, welcome back to my crazy place. I had some scriptures that I was going to use later on in a different video, but Watchtower pulled a rabbit out of the bag or their hats, and I had to look at another video from a different Kingdom Hall to make sure this is worldwide. Watchtower is trying to do again, begging Jehovah's Witnesses for more money, and this pisses me off. They have took a bunch of people and took them away from a good job to work part-time or practically free to do the ministry work, to go knock on people's doors. So when these people get up in age, they have nothing to support them when they get up in age. No pension, no nothing, no 401 or anything. It makes me sick that my parents force us to say this false religion. I'm going to read a couple of scriptures because it ties in to this nonsense. The Watchtower is now begging more people. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Long as you keep bringing money, it doesn't matter if it's a couple of dollars a week or $5 a week. Because remember, the widow gave all she had, 2 coins. Watchtower wants every bit of people's money. So I'm going to read the scriptures before we play the video. Proverbs 19:5. And this is talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. No lying, no joking around. These scriptures is for you, Jehovah's Witnesses, for your false religion. Because remember, you're supposed to be Jehovah's Witnesses. So let's take the word Jehovah and use the word false from the Bible. Proverbs 19:5. A false witness, or in this case, Jehovah's Witnesses, will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies will not escape. Foundation of Watchtower is built on lies. Proverbs 19:19 reads the same. So when Moses was putting all this in, no, this wasn't Moses. Sorry about that. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall punish. Same scripture. Get the point, Jehovah's Witnesses? Get the point, Watchtower? You are one lying organization, forcing Jehovah's Witnesses to go door to door to preach lies about this organization, preaching false hope that will never come true for your false religion. And like I said, a false religion, a Jehovah's Witness will not go unpunished. That means you are going to get the same faith as the wicked religions that you claim that are going to be destroyed. You're going to get the same faith. Now, Proverbs 22:16. He who opposes, Proverbs 22:16. He who opposes the poor to increase his riches, and he who gains to be rich will surely come to poverty. Let's try that again. Oh, I love this one. He who opposes the poor people to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. See, this scripture is talking about Jehovah's Witnesses giving up their money to make Watchtower filthy rich. That's the reason I had to pull these scriptures out, because basically this is what it's talking about. And Proverbs 22:22. Do not rob the poor, because he is poor, nor oppose the afflicted at the gate. I mean, at the times people went to the gate, they was poor. But Watchtower would poor people. Doesn't matter who they are, to take anyone's money. That's what this talk is about. It says, do not rob the poor, because he is poor. And this talk is talking about taking money from the widow who had 2 coins. Especially when Watchtower knows it's not a pure truth. This woman had 2 coins. Could you imagine if she was Jehovah's Witness and gave up her 2 coins and find out on the internet that Watchtower stole her money? Sickening. Let's get started.
Recent years, many people are streaming to Jehovah's Organization. Thousands and hundreds of thousands are.
Yeah, see, this is to build hope by brainwashing them. Oh, your money's fine, just keep bringing it in, because we got more people coming in. So that means maybe you can gradually, you know, later down the line, you don't have to give a whole lot. If you got 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses, and they was putting $5 every meeting, a week or a month, Watchtower, you got tons of money. Where's your money going? It seems like to me y'all got big giant pockets, but you got holes in the pockets. Where's the money going? You're giving these talks. This is worldwide. After I saw 2 videos on this talk. To take more money from Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's continue.
being baptized, and people are coming to learn about Jehovah. This increase has called for many kingdom halls to be built. As we speak today, there are over 2,500 kingdom halls are either being built or being renovated to accommodate.
What about all the kingdom halls that has been dismantled, kicking Jehovah's Witnesses out because they don't have 100% or even 50% of people is in there. They're pushing the witnesses to go other kingdom halls that's only half full to make them full, so they can sell the kingdom hall, which a bunch of these kingdom halls was made by the witnesses from their own pockets. And Watchtower eased themselves in to get the title of the property and the title of these buildings, because they know the internet is killing them. Let's continue.
All these right-hearted people who are streaming to Jehovah's Organization. There's financial needs to support this project. Also, there are other areas the organization is putting a lot of financial expenses to cover many of our special pioneers traveling. And also recently we've heard of many of our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world being affected by natural disasters. And that also calls for support financially to care for the things they've lost, whether their homes, their clothing, or even their place of worship.
Do you really believe Watchtower putting money out of their own pockets if a natural disaster like a hurricane, mudslide, or even a volcano destroy their homes, when few people could not even pay money to buy food? Which I brought that out, that one son found out his mother was starving, there was no food in the house, and the witnesses, the family didn't even go over there to check their mother. What about people who couldn't pay the electric bill because they had a hard time, money to fix the cars? Something happened that they go to the elders and ask them, please help us, we need at least survive 1 month. No money. You think Watchtower would send them a check? No. They only take checks and money, credit cards, everything. This is the reason why many of us left this fake, corrupt, evil religion, if you want to even call it that.
For them to have something to be restored for them. All these are calling for assistance for many to provide financial support. But we can all agree that things are becoming more and more expensive and challenging. Some of us in our audience today might already be retired. You just rely on your little pension money to go by.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? Whose fault the reason why Jehovah's Witnesses has no money? Or you can't have this job because it's going to take you away from your meeting nights. Or you can't have that job because you're going to be making too much money and you're not going to be putting in no hours in field service. Whose fault is that? And you Jehovah's Witnesses cannot see the truth?
Day by day. Others work half part-time, Or even if you work full-time, the rising cost of living condition is making it difficult for us to even contribute financially to support worldwide activities. But what can we do? Well, the poor widow in the book of Mark gives us a good example that can help us to see that regardless of our circumstances, regardless of our financial difficulty, all of us can support in any way that we can. And this widow that we'll consider was actually found by Jesus by observing what she did. Please, brothers, let's turn to Mark chapter 12.
Well, one good thing, she was not a Jehovah's Witness. At least her money went to a good cause that Christ praised her, and she was able, to this day, everybody remember her from the Bible in Mark and whatever other books that she was mentioned in. I guarantee there would be no Jehovah's Witnesses would be mentioned in the Bible. It doesn't matter if they put $1,000 or $4,000 in the collection plate, because you're serving a false god. You're putting money into a false religion. So I'm sorry, but your religion will not be put into the Bible, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Verses 41 and 42, and it sets the scene for us. And it says, and he, that's Jesus, sat down with the treasure chest in view, and began observing how the crowd was dropping money into the treasure chest. And many rich people were dropping in many coins. Now a poor widow came and dropped in 2 small coins of very little value. Yes, so Jesus was sitting with the sight of the treasure chest in view. And these treasure chests were at that time, about 13 of them were placed around the wall of the court of women in the temple. And in verse 42 it says that a poor widow. A widow means she may have lost her husband many years ago. The Bible never mentions that she had any children, but she was a poor widow, surviving by herself. Yet she dropped in 2 small coins of very little value. What was that coin? That it was so valueless from Mark's account. Well, the smallest Jewish coin that was in circulation at that time was known as a lepta. And these 2 coins that she dropped, according to the inside book, a labor could...
Well, here's the problem. Did you catch that? In the inside book. Here's the problem. Was this information found in the Bible? Found in the Bible? Were they going to bring up next? Was it? Or is it man-made literature from Watchtower of their... Well, maybe if we put ourselves into that position, we could figure out this is what really happens. And it doesn't say nothing like that in the Bible. You can't add to the scriptures when it only says this is what it says. In other words, you're going to go to work on a goat, or you're going to go to work on a horse, or you're going to go work in a car. It's one or the other or the other. You can't add stuff unless you know it is the truth. If Watchtower's literature, it's nothing but bare-faced lies.
And that 2 coins in just 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, if someone comes to your house to do a work for 15 minutes, how much can they do? Not much. So that coin was so low. But it went on to explain that it's so low that when we compare poor people to buy 2 sparrows as food or to sacrifice for Jehovah, they need to have 8 of those coins. For her to buy even 1 of the sparrows, she needs 4.
See this nonsense? I rest my case.
Or lepta. But yet, she only had 2. Which meant she couldn't even afford to buy a single.
She knew she couldn't buy a sparrow or a dove with 2 small coins. People, listen to the bull crap.
Sparrow. That shows the nature of a financial situation at that time. Yet, she drops those 2 little coins as an offering to Jehovah. And how did Jesus felt about this when he found this old poor widow? In Mark chapter 12 verse 43, he went on and said, "So he called his disciples to him and said to them, 'Truly I say to you that this poor widow put in more than all the others who put money into the treasure chest.'" Yes, Jesus was amazed by her faith that he called his disciples to see for themselves that this poor widow gave more than what all the rich people that contributed at that time gave. Why? Because many of the rich people did give what they had. They had something back home. But for her, she had nothing. And in verse 44, it went on to say that for they all put in out of their surplus, but she, out of her want, put in everything she had, all she had to live on. She gave everything she had for Jehovah at that time. And that's why Jesus said that even
If Jehovah's Witnesses was allowed to have money, they could have pulled money out of their surplus, not out of their life savings, not off their Social Security. So actually, Watchtower, you're doing evil exactly the way those scriptures I brought out. You're robbing the poor people to make yourself rich. Let's continue.
though to man that 2 coins can't even pay a laborer who works for an hour or a day, may seem valueless, but to him and Jehovah it was a priceless gift. And Jesus wants his disciples to learn. It's the same way today we can learn a lot from this poor widow who gave the little that she had to help in the temple work. If we refer to our workbook, on the title she posted more than all the others, there are a few things we can consider. That how does this account teach the following lessons? That Jehovah appreciates what we do. Many of the Pharisees may not have seen what this widow did. Yet, Jesus pointed it out, and he made sure that this account was recorded. Whether this video got...
Yes, to be recorded, but not to be used in a bad way for Watchtower to rob the poor people in Jehovah's Witnesses religion. Wow.
To knew of what Jesus said, the Bible never said. But today, we can learn that Jehovah truly appreciates the very little that we provide. Whether we have more or less, anything that comes out of our heart that we give to Jehovah, he provides as something.
Yeah, the government body is really happy when they're getting $2,000-3,000 a month from every Kingdom Hall, because they don't have to work. They can go all over the world, any place they want to, have vacations. They're living as kings in their throne room when they meet with each other. Come on, people. Can you see something wrong with this talk? Is your ears open? Your mind's working? What does it take to see how corrupt Watchtower truly is?
Something that he appreciates. It's not just about money that we have to provide financially to support the expansion of his kingdom ministry. There are other avenues as well. With the little time we spend in the ministry, the little time we spend to...
Here's something just came in my mind. If Jehovah's Witnesses is spending their money, their gas money, to do all this preaching work, going all over the world to do all this, why you have to give Watchtower money? Why you have to dig money out of your pocket and give the Watchtower when you're the one and others around the world is doing all the work, using your money? So that means you're paying Watchtower double pay. Double pay for their preaching work. You're paying them to pay you to preach, but they don't pay you. And if they did pay you, I guarantee it ain't going to be no $500 a month or $1,000 a month. If you're auxiliary, top of line minister, that ain't going to happen. So why are you paying Watchtower twice when you're doing all the work? It's something to think about.
Encourage our brothers and sisters are all part of areas that we can show our valuable things to Jehovah. And the second point is to do your best in Jehovah's service. That widow did her very best to give the very best she had, only 2 left. We can do that. Whether you're old enough to be able to expand your ministry as a full-time pioneer, or whether you're already struggling with illnesses through old age, the little that you can do for Jehovah's worship is also something he appreciates. The mere fact that we are here tonight to come to be instructed by Jehovah is a lot of effort that many of us has to make to come through the code to be instructed. And these are things that Jehovah also appreciate and value, that we spend our time to learn from him. And also not to compare what you can do with what others can do or with what you were able to do in the past. There's a saying that the hands are not equal, the fingers are not equal. Because we are imperfect in Satan's world, there may be differences. Some may have more, some may have less. And maybe previously you could have done more, but today you can't do much. But whatever you do today, Jehovah truly appreciates. And the poor should not also hold back from giving, even if the amount is small. So as you've considered from this poor widow, Jesus said she poured in more than all the others. Yes, if we continue to give Jehovah our very best, all of us will be viewed as people who are valued by Jehovah, because we've given our very best to Jehovah, and that way we can continue to support his organization.
Support Watchtower. There's no organization. Only fake and destructive cult is what Watchtower is. So people, it's your choice. Should you write a check out every month, every week to Watchtower? Or you gonna get off your bonds? Or you can settle on your bonds and Google the real truth and learn the real truth. Why you need to stop giving money to a false religion. So people, choice is yours. Watchtower can't even prove to me anymore that they are the truth. They got so many lies has been told, published, written by Watchtower to prove everyone who's in this false religion needs to get out. So thank you for listening. I didn't expect this video was going to be that loud, but there was so much information and I had to put my words in 2 cents in and use the Bible scriptures to show Watchtower is no better than any other cult or preachers out there like Jim and Tammy Baker and a bunch of others using people to make them thrifty rich. Because remember, Jim and Tammy Baker had $1 million house. Their dog had $1 million house. It wasn't a dog house, people. You can't make a dog house to be worth $1 million unless the sucker's made of gold. No dog is worth to build $1 million house that other people put the money in for their ministry, and they buy $1 million house for their dog. People, Watchtower is no different. Trust me, they're not. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.